the strongest drink in the universe. Captain Elena Santos had seen plenty of bizarre things. During her tenure aboard the Nexus station, she'd witnessed quantum coral that sang in colors, trade disputes over time-frozen fruit, and even a hive mind trying to negotiate with itself. But nothing quite compared to the chaos unfolding in the diplomatic hub's celestial lounge. "Is this some kind of human jest?" clicked Ambassador Kurix, their iridescent mandibles twitching as they held up a delicate crystal glass. The chrysalid diplomat's compound eyes reflected the lounge's ambient light, creating a kaleidoscope of suspicion. Elena leaned back in her chair, her easy smile masking the tension in the room. "Not just, Ambassador. Hospitality. You wanted to learn about human spirits, so here we are." Before Kurix stood an impressive array of bottles, each representing humanity's finest distillation. Achievements, aged whiskeys from the Highland colonies, synthetic rum from the Mars distilleries, and vodka from the ice mines of Europa. Kurix's antennae twitched disapprovingly. "And this," they gestured with their upper limb to the bourbon, "is your species' crowning achievement?" "That's just the warm-up," Elena replied diplomatically, watching the ambassador's still full glass. "We're working our way up to the interesting stuff." The lounge hummed with anticipation. Delegates from across known space had gathered to witness this peculiar human ritual. The quantum collective pulsed with curiosity, while a nebula nomad's gaseous form swirled with barely contained excitement. Kurix sampled the bourbon, their mandibles clicking rapidly in what Elena recognized as their species' equivalent of a grimace. "Weak! The fermented nectar from our hive worlds has more kick." Elena nodded, rising smoothly. "Fair enough. Let's try something with more bite." She moved to the display, selecting a bottle of quantum-aged vodka. The clear liquid seemed to phase in and out of reality. The ambassador downed it without ceremony. Their carapace shifted colors slightly, but they maintained their composure. "Better, still nothing exceptional." Elena fought back a smirk. Time for the main event. From beneath the table, she produced a crystal bottle containing a liquid that seemed to glow with its own inner fire. The room fell silent. "What manner of substance is that?" inquired a silicon sage, their crystalline form refracting the bottle's ethereal glow. "This," Elena announced, holding the bottle reverently, "is stellar nova, the strongest spirit humans have ever created. It's literally distilled at zero gravity using quantum manipulation. Nearly pure ethanol with a touch of, well, let's call it stardust." Kurix's antennae perked up. "Pure ethanol? Surely you exaggerate, poor Miss Elena hesitated. "Ambassador, even humans don't drink this straight. It's more weapon than beverage. Are you suggesting a chrysalid can't handle what a human can?" Their carapace flickered with indignation. "Not at all." Elena raised her hands placatingly. "Just offering fair warning. This stuff has been known to melt synthetic ice. The strongest drink in the universe." Before Elena could intervene, Kurix grasped the glass with their primary manipulators and took a defiant sip. The reaction was instantaneous and spectacular. The ambassador's entire carapace shifted from its usual pearlescent green to a shocking ultraviolet. Their compound eyes widened to maximum dilation, and all four arms began trembling in perfect synchronization. The glass slipped from their grasp, shattering on the floor with a crystalline chime that barely registered over the violent clicking emanating from their mandibles. "Ambassador." Elena leaned forward, concern etching her features. Kurix's antennae went rigid, then began spinning in opposing directions. This is..." They managed to click out before their translator implant gave up entirely, defaulting to their native tongue in a series of rapid-fire clicks and chirps that made several nearby delegates recoil. "Someone get me some glucose solution," Elena called out, recognizing the signs of severe ethanol shock. "And maybe a quantum stabilizer." The chrysalid diplomat doubled over, their bioluminescent patches flashing in distress patterns. Their secondary wings, usually kept neatly folded, burst out involuntarily, creating a small windstorm in the lounge that sent glasses flying. The quantum collective rippled in alarm, their unified consciousness fragmenting momentarily in shock. "Is the ambassador experiencing molecular dissolution?" They harmonized anxiously. "Not if I can help it," Elena muttered, reaching for Kurix's shoulder, but pulling back when one of their wings nearly clipped her. The ambassador's usual dignified posture had completely abandoned them as they slumped across their seat, all four arms dangling limply. "You humans," Kurix finally managed through their translator. "This is no beverage. This is cosmic sabotage. Elena sighed. I tried to warn you. Stellar nova isn't just strong, it's literally infused with quantum particles. We usually dilute it with dark matter or at least some tonic water. The room erupted in murmurs. A silicon sage crystallized closer, their faceted body refracting light in patterns of curiosity. Your species willingly consumes a substance that can destabilize molecular bonds? Practice, Elena shrugged, then turned back to Curix. Seriously though, drink this glucose solution. It'll help neutralize the quantum effects. The ambassador, still emanating distress patterns through their bioluminescent patches, accepted the solution. Their mandibles worked overtime processing the liquid, and gradually their carapace began returning to its normal coloration. This stellar nova, they clicked weakly. It is no mere spirit. It is a testament to human insanity. That's not entirely inaccurate, Elena admitted, watching as a medical drone scanned Curix's vital signs. It's why we keep it locked away most of the time. Some things aren't meant to be taken straight. As the chaos gradually subsided, Elena noticed a troubling development. Rather than being deterred by Curix's spectacular reaction, many delegates seemed even more intrigued. The nebula nomad had condensed closer to the bottle, its gaseous form swirling with unmistakable interest. Perhaps, burbled a void dweller, its tentacles writhing thoughtfully. We should conduct controlled experiments. Absolutely not, Elena said firmly, securing the stellar nova bottle in its quantum-locked case. This isn't a science experiment. It's a responsibility. The diplomatic aftermath stretched well into the station's night cycle. Elena found herself explaining human drinking, customs to increasingly curious aliens, each convinced they could handle what had laid low one of the galaxy's most formidable diplomats. The next morning, in the observation deck overlooking the stellar drift, Elena nursed a cup of black coffee, while Curix sipped recovery nutrients through a specialized proboscis. Your species, the ambassador clicked softly, their carapace still showing faint traces of ultraviolet, continues to defy comprehension. You create something that could destabilize reality itself. Bottle it and drink it for pleasure. Elena smiled into her coffee. Sometimes I think we just like reminding ourselves what we're capable of, for better or worse. The Galactic Council has approved a formal tasting event, Curix announced suddenly, causing Elena to choke on her coffee. They what? After witnessing my experience, they believe it warrants further cultural exchange. Under strict supervision, of course. Elena groaned, already imagining the diplomatic nightmare ahead. Next time I'm bringing juice. Nobody ever started an interstellar incident over apple juice. Curix's mandibles clicked in what Elena had learned was amusement. To humanity, they said, raising their nutrient tube in a mock toast. Masters of beautiful chaos. To humanity, Elena echoed, wondering if the galaxy would ever truly understand the species that turned their own recklessness into an art form. As she watched the stars drift by, she made a mental note to requisition more medical drones. Something told her they were going to need them.